Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NASCAR Vernors Cup Series. Wait, wrong view. There we go. The season is truly begun. The West Coast swing has started. It's the second race of the season. We're here at Phoenix, a.k.a. ISM. Danky Common already won last week in the biggest race of the year, Junior Johnson 500. But he's running part-time, so he's not even here. So the driver who placed second in that race, who actually tied for the points lead, is your de facto points leader, that being Bob Ross, picking up where he left off last year with nearly winning a championship. This is the Call of the Wild 500. Harrison Ford, defending series champion, promoting his new movie. And yeah. So, let's go through the starting lineup. Hut Strickland with his second career pole. The last time he did it was at Rockingham in 1995. Lining up next to him is Tom Hanks, who got his first career win here 2 years ago. Then Marco Polo and Count Dracula, who's in the field this weekend. Woody Woodpecker, who won the defending winner of this race right here last year when it was still the second race of the year, been moved to this second race. Line up next to Stephen George, then Brendan Gaughan and Brian Wilson. Snoop Dogg and Hank Hill, who missed last week, round out your top 10. Then Woody Harrelson and their champion Harrison Ford. David Dayton in the field. He's next to Richard Simmons. That's a Chevy, even though you can't tell, it is a Chevy. Al Roker and Iggy Koopa, along with Telly Savalas and another driver who missed last week, James Bond. Then your de facto points leader, Bob Ross, and another driver driving for a new team that missed last week, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Tom Jones, sporting the CarQuest colors, is lining up next to Walter White. Morgan Freeman in the 20 to the outside of Rick Scott in the 02. Rick Scott won his duel. So did, I don't remember who won the second duel already. Was he? No, he was the second. It was the first duel. Kathy Bates alongside with Alfred Hitchcock. Then Peter Perfect and Al Capone. Geddy Lee and Billy Mays. The Jerry Springer and Joe Biden, Jeff Lynne, and another Rookie of the Year contender, that being Blaze Alexander. Billy Mays is your other duel winner, right there. Then John Cena and Burt Reynolds. Pair of teammates in Ian Anderson and Crow T. Robot. Then Carl Edwards, who's won here twice. Starts in 39th. He actually makes the field this weekend. Starts next to Bela Fleck. No, Billy Mays did not win his duel. Apologies. Marco Polo did, actually. Denzel Washington, who did he? No, he did. Yeah, he definitely made the race, along with Donald Fagen, will round out your field. Only 44 cars attempted, the 44 that are trying to run the whole year. That being said, 2 drivers failed to qualify. Grover Cleveland missed again, and also missing again, Rookie of the Year contender Chick Corea. Their championship hopes. They all took a very big hit. In addition, there's a good chance that they will not be locked in. If this keeps up, they won't be locked in after the 5th race of the year. They already aren't locked in. So they could be in a very bad spot. Anyway, take trackside for command.
Drivers, start your engines.
Yes, that was on. That was fine. 42 cars peel off of pit lane for the Call of the Wild 500. Now we saw a very competitive race, especially in the early stages. Drivers getting 3, 4, they might have been 5 wide at some point, I don't remember. They were 4 wide a bit. Nobody wrecked. We had a couple drivers who failed to finish the race. Mainly, those were mechanical issues. No cautions at all. So far in the first 3 races of the year, somebody who's not a veteran, so a rookie, has won. Even though a former winner did end up winning in Tip Foster. There's a rookie in third. Count Dracula, can he keep it going? We'll see. Hut Strickland and Tom Hanks lead on the green. Here at ISM, a.k.a. Phoenix. The green flag is out and we are underway. Pretty tame. Now the action starts as they head into turn 1. The old turn 3. Already 3 wide. Hut Strickland, your leader, trying to hold off Woody Woodpecker. And he will lead the first lap. You can see now they're starting to go 4 wide here. You can see that right there. Very tricky spot. But so far they managed to get through it almost 5 wide. Top 2 have already started to run away from the field. Third lap is underway. Woody Woodpecker to the race lead. Clears off of 2. 4 wide at the back. Nearly think they're 5 wide there. Oh, contact! Blaze Alexander's around. Donald Fagan into the wall. I know Casper the Ghost got a piece of it. So did Denzel Washington. Oh, Fagan's car somehow got lodged into the safer barrier. He's stuck and he can't get out. These guys race back to the line. Fagan getting towed to pit road. Denzel Washington and Blaze Alexander gonna get away. Now, is anybody gonna pit? Besides the drivers without damage, drivers with damage, I don't think so. But what I do think is we need to go back in time, take a look at a replay. I saw a little bit of I was worried about possibly being 4 wide, 4 to 5 wide it looks like. John Cena, let's switch to TV2, go into slow motion. It's like, but you gonna, no, we got pinched by Joe Biden. Is what happened. And so that's where they came down on Blaze Alexander. Oh, and Denzel Washington just shunted Donald Fagan into Blaze Alexander, and then he just lost all his brakes. They gathered it up pretty quickly. Woody Woodpecker, who already led coming to lap 3. So he led. Blaze Alexander led the first 2 laps. There's Donald Fagan in pit lane. There's Blaze Alexander coming off of it. Casper took service. Donald Fagan is going to get back into the race. He's only a single lap down. They're getting towed back to his pit. Denzel Washington did not pit. Oh, Fagan's coming back in. Interesting turn of events here. Very possible he was just trying to beat the pace car out. Spend some more time to do some routine service. Maybe. I don't know. That could be. Once again, he comes off of pit road before the pace car can come around. Well clear of the pace car. We should be going back to green this next lap. And this time he will not go back down pit lane. So somehow all 42 drivers still in it. Donald Fagan being on the inside, probably a bit slower. This could be very interesting. Nobody... Oh, a couple drivers cracked. As he's rocketing. Pace car already down pit road due to the design. We're about to get back underway after the first caution flag in the Call of the Wild 500. Woody Woodpecker gonna lead the field back down. Coming the 70 to go. And we are back green. Fagan definitely not the fastest. Being up here might hurt someone. No, he's going to go try and get his lap back here. Ooh, interesting strategy if the quickie yellow comes out. But Snoop Dogg has other plans. And powering out. They're already almost 3 wide. Donald Fagan can't quite clear Woody Woodpecker. And now Hutch Strickland getting to the inside. Some of these drivers running. Denzel Washington got involved in the accident. Now he's set the fastest lap of the race thus far. Now it's Rick Scott atop the leaderboards. Rick Scott into the top 10. Trying to crack the top 5. Dawn running 5th. He's 8th on track at the moment. Going for 6th and 7th in one go. Does he get either at the line? He gets 7th. Now Tom Hanks going for 3rd place. On on Snoop Dogg. So your manufacturer battle at the moment in this race is Ford, Pontiac, Chevrolet, Dodge, and Toyota, and Renault. And Alphas that run part-time that did make the field last weekend. They're already 4 wide again. You can see the skid marks. Hutch Strickland just might not have been quite as good as race pace as Woody Woodpecker is pulling out a gap. Rick Scott now into the top 5 as he's got past Brendan Gaughan. Now Brian Wilson. Getting around. It looks like this field's kind of getting bottlenecked a little bit due to Donald Fagan. Another big question is, when are we going to have pit stops? We should have pit stops sometime in this race. Now, as we see, there's 2 teammates running side by side. Al Capone and Alfred Hitchcock. Both championship contenders to varying amounts. Capone just didn't have the wins, and Hitchcock didn't have the starts. He DNQ'd 4 times. Something he will be able to avoid with this top 35 rule. Brendan Gaughan, the only Dodge in the top 10. Falling further. You have to go all the way back to this battle for 19th to find Peter Perfect. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Dodges in the field this week, and another one DNQ. Peter Perfect pulling it down pit road. This is way too early, I think, to make it on fuel from here. So I believe there is a problem with that 9 machine. Heartbreak, as the last 2 cars running are going to be the 2 Never Pork Motorsports entries. Maybe a flat spot in a tire because he's changing lefts. Away he goes. Possible vibration we are hearing on the 9. And we'll drop to last car running. Brendan Gaughan has now cleared out in 8th. Now Al Capone's up to 18th, going for 17th. It's the next highest Dodge after Gaughan. Meanwhile, Hut Strickland has started to pull away from 3rd place and is now reeling in your race leader, Woody Woodpecker. Hut Strickland led the first 2 laps from the pole. Woody Woodpecker has led the other 18 thus far. And he is getting a lot closer. Right in his tire tracks. Nearly a whole second back to 3rd place Snoop Dogg, who's starting to come under fire from Rick Scott a little bit. Scott looking really good. A lot of people were questioning this Raven West Motorsport team. Thought they were going to be another failed team, but Rick Scott, and to a lesser extent his part-time teammate Nathan McCain, have been turning heads. Rick Scott, the Scottish driver, believe it or not, already a winner, having pulled off a victory in his dual race. Second, that all of a sudden it all becomes single file. I thought there was a caution or something. We see Woody Woodpecker now starting to pull out the gap again a little bit as Snoop Dogg starts to charge in. So you can see these times have definitely dropped off a little bit. Your fastest car in the race is Al Capone. But 34 drivers have managed to crack the 28-second barrier. Donald Fagen's second slowest car. He got involved in that incident. The only car slower is somehow Bob Ross. Denzel Washington and Blaze Alexander were also involved. They're going 3 wide towards the back. Denzel Washington's the 3rd fastest car. Now once again, Woody Woodpecker coming under fire from Hut Strickland. This has been a give and take battle towards the front. Woody Woodpecker, the defending winner at this track and in this race. He also won at Talladega last year, but has not been the victory lane since. Looking for his 3rd career victory. Woody Woodpecker dominated a lot of the 2018 season, only to have bad luck and fall off the map in the last couple of races. Hut Strickland now fading back a little bit. 3 wide for 13th. There's Carl Edwards. He started 39th. He started to work his way up. Denzel Washington started last, and he's 40th. Well, that's probably not the best indicator. He was involved in the crash. Now Donald Fagen. Bela Fleck, really the other one. He started 40th, and he's still back here. So you can see Peter Perfect is driving through the field. He is on fresher tires. Due to this, when these drivers do come down, if a caution comes out at just the right time, Peter Perfect will probably not only get his lap back, but be the leader. Pit road is going to be very interesting. There's only a handful of stalls. You can see that are actually before pit lane. I mean, after the start-finish line, I think the top 6 is all. As we return you back to normal camera angles, Strickland's last charge has not worked out. He's faded over a second off. And more importantly, he's under fire from that 18, the Snoop Dogg. Rick Scott runs 4th ahead of Brian Wilson. Magic lap is lap 39. Might be able to pit slightly after that due to when the yellow come out. The yellow probably saved them a little bit on fuel. They can make it to lap 39. Should be, or at least lap 40. They should be able to make this race on one stop. A lot of these drivers that are hitting the apron in the corner makes me wonder if they are going to indeed come to pit road early. Hut Strickland. I guess just trying to not to use up his tires more than he already has. But here goes Snoop Dogg making the move. Rick Scott looks like he had damage for a second. Yes, he did not. Hut Strickland manages to hold on. Look at Peter Perfect. He's actually caught this pack. Too bad he's a lap down. Oh, a big gap, as you can see. Nearly 2 seconds separating Marco Polo from Brendan Gaughan. No, he just ran just off for some laps. He's just... Lap 38, yeah. You can see there's a big... Another gap. Back out of 17. And then out of 36. Woody Woodpecker starts lap 39. Will be halfway at the line for Woody Woodpecker. There he is. See, looks like everybody, at least so far, is not coming down, meaning this should be only a one-stop race for the field. Yes. No! Denzel Washington comes down pit road. Interesting. Imagine if there wasn't that yellow. Denzel Washington going for the overcut. Yeah, this is scheduled. Snoop Dogg, Tom Hanks, Marco Polo, David Dayton, Count Dracula, and others. Stephen George come down. Geddy Lee. These guys should be able to all make it into the end, but ooh. Should be interesting. Maybe Denzel Washington had a problem. It looks like he's taking a long time. Hut Strickland now peeling down a whole host of others. Making pit stops. Notably staying out is Woody Woodpecker. Now he'll come down along with Rick Scott. Brendan Gaughan going to become the third different leader of this race. Interesting. Anyway, we see Hut Strickland gonna get bypassed by it. Look at this. Looks like, I think Snoop Dogg is going to be at the moment. We'll cycle out with the lead. Let's see what Woody Woodpecker does. He gets jumped by Bond, and they'll all get jumped. All of them. Bond's a lap down. Snoop Dogg looks like he will be your new race leader. Almost just took out the 9. Casper the Friendly Ghost actually led that time by. Actually, I think this would be a battle for the lead. Peter Perfect just got caught out at the wrong time. Missed out. Casper still being scored as your race leader. Donald Fagen's in third. Donald Fagen's going to end up getting at least a lap-led bonus. And Denzel Washington at a prop. So is Rick Scott. Rick Scott's in severe problems. What on earth happened to the O2? It's now Blaze Alexander's being listed as your leader. Blaze Alexander being listed as your race leader. Is he not pit? I don't even see him. A lot of the field's a lap. He's really slow. He hadn't pit yet. Oh, but will this allow him to take on less fuel? I think so. At the line, your new leader, Donald Fagan, comes down. Blaze Alexander took so long, Donald Fagan couldn't even get a lap lead bonus. Snoop Dogg is going to cycle out as your race leader. There we go, leading. 31 laps to go. Brian Wilson second. James Bond third. Hut Strickland is running fourth. No, James Bond is a lap down. Hut Strickland's third. Hank Hill's fourth. Tom Hanks fighting for fifth. Blaze Alexander, I think, is going to fall a lap down. Donald Fagan already is. Maybe not. I think Blaze Alexander is going to be the last car on the lead lap. James Bond being a lap car nuisance. Donald Fagan down to 2 laps. A second lead. Nearly 2/3 through this race. Gotta wonder if the mix of some slightly slower cars, if that's gonna cause any wrecks. I don't think so. Rick Scott just ran his fastest lap in the race. Bela Fleck, actually the fastest car on track right now. He's in 35th. Donald Fagan. Okay. Donald Fagan, who's running in last. Well, not last on the track. Due to his damage, he's the only one who hasn't cracked the 28-second mark yet. And he just ran his fastest lap of the race, down to 28.1. Oh, wait. Bond going high. Unfortunately, neither Hut Strickland nor Hank Hill could take advantage of that. Brian Wilson has been closing in. He got his first career win in the Melling Series last year, late in the year at Rockingham. It basically earned him this seat over Alan Rickman, as Stephen Hawking disappointed. Now he's closing in on Snoop Dogg. Rick Scott was running really well. Heartbreak for that O2 team. I have no clue what the points are going to look like after this race. All I know is Bob Ross was your points leader. He's not having that great of a race. Peter Perfect just came off of pit road. He could end up being an obstacle for his leaders. Maybe, since he pitted, maybe he'll have fresher rubber, thus won't play a factor. There's James Bond. running in 38th place, one lap down, trying to get a lap back in case a yellow comes out. However, I don't really see one coming out. Do you? No, I don't. Field really spread apart now, as you can see. Brian Wilson trying to track down Snoop Dogg. After what looked like it might have been some Ford domination early. Now they just clicked off some really fast laps. Hut Strickland in particular got getting pretty close to Bond. Bond surprisingly not giving way to his Ford mates. Brian Wilson was trying to make a look on the high line there somehow. James Bond, Hut Strickland is trying to find a way around as we come to 20 to go. Hut Strickland right on the bumper almost. Can make the move going into one. He does not. No, he goes high. That'll allow Hank Hill to close in. These guys need to team up and take this away and make it more than a two-car battle for the win. With 20 laps to go. Hut Strickland seeing probably his best chance to win a race fall through his hands yet again. Hank Hill getting really racy, and that's not helping matters at all as they are losing ground to a lap car. Instead of working together to get by said lap car. Yet they're somehow keeping pace with your race leaders. Somehow closing in. James Bond gonna also be a nuisance again. This time trying to pass the lap car of, the lead lap car of Brian Wilson. Carl Edwards on the charge, he's up to 24th. Tom Hanks, we haven't talked about him in a while. Where is he? He's in 6th. There's Woody Woodpecker in 5th. Who hasn't had to worry about all this. Now Hut Strickland drawing in close to James Bond yet again. Trying to get around this lap car. Hank Hill runs it wide. Maybe he's trying to get a run off the corner, it could be. Bond looking like he's going to try and get past Brian. There's a move. Hut Strickland. Oh, they made contact. Oh, that could have been. Now Hut Strickland trying to get a run up high. Why? Oh, why did lap cars have to be such a nuisance? Hank Hill gonna get by, likely. Excuse me. Now Woody Woodpecker gonna get by. It's crazy how spread out these guys are, and yet you still can get railroaded up high. Here comes Tom Hanks to railroad Hut Strickland. Hank Hill now. Given the opportunity, can he get by the 7? Now Hut Strickland trying to get by Woody Woodpecker. Unfortunately, passing just seems to be more who makes mistakes. And Hank Hill clearly made one there as he washed up the track and lost any ground he had gained on the 7. 12 laps remain. 12 laps remain, yeah. They're 3 wide towards the back. Stephen George has made a pass on Richard Simmons. Walter White trying to make a pass on David Dayton for 9th. Brian Wilson catching up the Snoop Dogg. Will any of these drivers somehow mess up and not get enough fuel in? Hank Hill is looking to get around Bond. Error. Really close. Who's going to make a move? Fortunately, no one's making a move on Bond. 10 laps to go. Denzel Washington, I can't tell if he's the reason for this log jam. But now Woody Woodpecker trying to get around Hank Hill. Brian Wilson going to try and run the bottom of the track to see if he gains any traction. It looks like no. James Bond, he's going to go high because of this. Hank Hill, could he finally get a third car by? Now down the backstretch, Woody Woodpecker, not sure who he wants to go with. Now he goes down low. Very interesting set of circumstances here. Hank Hill gonna have to throw it in deep. Still can't get cleared, and now Hut Strickland's getting taken side by side once again. Hill almost clear. He is all cleared of Bond. Woody Woodpecker cannot get by. And here's the battle for the lead. Brian Wilson throwing it in underneath Snoop Dogg. With 7 laps to go. They're side by side. Going into 3. Wilson got a nose up in front. It's going to be a drag race to see who leads this lap. I think Brian Wilson got it. By 5 1,000ths of a second. Somebody just came off of pit road. It's Brendan Gaughan. No, he didn't come out of pit road. Looked like it, though. Hank Hill in the 3rd now. Now Snoop Dogg getting taken potentially for 2nd. With 5 to go. And here comes Bond, going to be a nuisance again. Due to being a lapped car. Three-car battle for the win. Coming to 4 laps to go. For Brian Wilson in the 2nd start. Continuing the rookie streak. If he can pull this off. Hank Hill, he's never won. He's trying to charge down. 3 to go. Hank Hill really closing in that time by. Through the dog leg. Now into 1. Hank Hill getting underneath the 48. They're side by side for the race lead with 3 laps to go. Brian Wilson powering off on the high side throughout 2. and re-clears himself. Hut Strickland throwing away a chance at a top 5. 2 to go. Just 2 perfect laps for Brian Wilson, and he's got this. That looked less than perfect. Hank Hill is able to close in a bit. There's a huge drive off. And that could be the clincher. The white flag waving now for Brian Wilson. 1 lap to go. 1 mile. And does anybody have to pit? I don't think so. It'd be awfully silly for them to pit now. No challenge from the 38. Going through turns 3 and 4, it will be Brian Wilson taking his first career victory in the NASCAR Vernors Cup Series. There you can see several drivers all racing by. Well, now here comes everybody down in the pits. Ooh, a little bit of argy-bargy, you see. Oh, contact. Oh, there's a crash in the back. Peter Perfect and Bela Fleck involved. Every driver finished the race. There is your top 28. James Bond being a total nuisance throughout the entire event. At least the last stint. There's your bottom 20, your bottom 28. Points leader Bob Ross does not have a good race. Rick Scott, all potential, but just fell off. David Dayton had a decent run. Count Dracula. Hank Hill, I believe, did not even make the field last week, if I remember correctly. Well, Brian Wilson ekes out a win. What we can do is take a look at the points real quick. There is your point standings. Brian Wilson is taking over the points lead. Kaminari drops to 26 due to not making a start. Hank Hill, first start of the year. Count Dracula's first start. David Dayton's first start. Carl Edwards, Casper the Ghost, James Bond all start the year off. Already 49 drivers. Real interesting stats. It's 2 part-time drivers in the top 35 in points. See, some drivers definitely struggling. Hut Strickland will join Alfred Hitchcock in the Clash next year. Rick Scott, a terrible start to the year. Points-wise, he's down to 44th in points despite competing in both events. Only 35 drivers have made both races thus far this year. There it is. Little bit of analysis. That's crazy. That's what, a last inning. It's a last and a 41st, I believe. And that's what he's put up with. These last two he finished last because of the big one. And then the problems. But Woody Woodpecker looking strong. Walter White and Brian Wilson have managed top tens in both races thus far. Hut Strickland up the fourth in points. Everyone back to Kathy Bates still in reach of the points lead. Well, technically, oh no, Kaminari will be starting, well, attempting to make start next weekend at California. That's going to be the Endeavor Hero Agency 500. Hopefully we'll see you again. There'll be a melling race on Saturday as well at the same place. The Hills Brothers 300. For everybody, I've been Western Caves. Announcer Western Cave. So long.